Good evening. It's now 6:56 p.m. and I call to order the regular meeting of the Victoria City Council. Thanks to those who were waiting patiently for us to start the council meeting. Our workshop went a little bit long. Let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have some announcements this evening. The council will hold a budget workshop Monday, August 22nd at 5:30 p.m. to discuss the max tax budget and levy for 2023. All meetings of the City Council are open to the public and held in the council chambers at City Hall unless otherwise noted. We encourage anyone who wants to attend our council meetings or workshops in person to contact our interim city clerk in advance. In other announcements, classic car shows run every Wednesday through September 28th. The next one will be this Wednesday, August 10th from 5 to 8 p.m. Our farmers market is on Thursday afternoons from 3 to 6 p.m. in the Enke Brewery lower parking lot, and that runs through September 22nd. Volksfest is back and will be held Saturday, September 10th, starting at 2 p.m. and going on into the evening. The event will be held in downtown Victoria in the Enke parking lot. It's organized by the Victoria Business Association with kids games, a street market with food trucks, a craft fair, and a big tent with live music. Also taking place on Saturday, September 10th in the afternoon is the Nordic Music Festival, hosted by the Nordic Heritage Club of Carver County and the Sons of Norway. This free event is open to everyone and celebrates Nordic heritage and culture with music, food, games, crafts, and more, and that will be held in the Lions Park Pavilion. The state primary election will be held tomorrow, Tuesday, August 9th. Polls are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. New since our last elections, Victoria now has 5 precincts instead of 3, so please check our website or the Secretary of State's website if you need help finding where to vote. Thank you to all of our election judges and city staff who's helped making voting possible in this community. So get out and vote tomorrow, August 9th, primary day. And speaking of elections, filing for city council candidates is now open. We have 2 council member seats that will be on the November ballot. Filing closes at 5 p.m. on Tuesday, August 16th. Interested candidates should file in person at City Hall with the city clerk's office. If you're considering running for city council, please feel free to reach out to any of our current council members or our city manager, Dana Hardy, who can help answer any questions. Our next order of business is to adopt the final agenda. Council, can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
Motion to adopt the final agenda.
I have a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Our next item is open forum. That's the opportunity for anyone to address the council on an item that's not on the agenda and not in application form that will be coming to the council at a future date. We don't have anyone registered in advance to speak. And is there anyone in the audience who would like to address the council? I'm looking at an empty council chambers, so I'm guessing no. So we'll move on to the next item, which is the consent agenda. Items on our consent agenda are routine, administrative, and don't require deliberation, or are housekeeping items that are required by law. They're approved with one vote unless someone requests an item to be considered separately. Ms. Hardy, does staff want to pull any items off the consent agenda?
None from staff, Madam Mayor.
Council, any members of council who want to pull something from the consent agenda? Seeing no one, anyone in the audience? Seeing no one, I would take a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
Motion to adopt the consent agenda.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We're now moving on to our regular agenda. We have just one item on the regular agenda this evening, item 6.1. Presenting this evening, Parks and Rec Director Ann Monkey. Ms. Monkey, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor, Council. This evening for your consideration is a payment to Holy Family Catholic High School for tennis court repairs that will be made this year. Just to provide a little background, in 2005, when Holy Family was built, the city and Holy Family agreed to a partnership for the 8 outdoor tennis courts that exist there today. And that agreement spells out, minor repairs that the school takes care of and the city doesn't have to do anything. But when it comes to major repairs, it's a 50% split for each party. So we had the Holy Family and I had been in conversations actually since the pickleball conversation a couple of years ago about the courts and the schedule to rehabilitate them. And just over the past couple of years, the last major work was done in 2015. And just over the last couple of years, the courts have seen some pretty dramatic cracking. And they had obtained a bid earlier this year for about $83,770 to make some of those repairs. Early this spring, on site visits, I had spoken with the athletic director. We talked about, is this the best way to go about doing these repairs? And in all likelihood, in the near future, that the courts will have to be done in its entirety. So we had put money into the capital improvement fund over the next couple of years. I think the next one was 2005 for some of that major work. And unfortunately, the several courts are just not safe for playing. So that's why Holy Family would like to go ahead and make those repairs before the fall tennis schedule comes out. So unfortunately, it wasn't part of our budget for this year, and it was out into the future in the CIP. So just kind of looking to try to figure a way to make that payment to Holy Family. I am recommending that we utilize both the general fund and the capital fund split evenly. We do have some trail maintenance dollars in the budget that we could give up for this year, and still have a little bit of money left for some crack sealing this year that would help with the trail maintenance piece of it. But so roughly looking at about $13,500 coming from the general fund, and then the other from the capital improvement fund. I worked a little spreadsheet for the park fund, and it won't have any impact. That dollar amount will not have any impact for future park projects. So that will help with the long-term fund of the parks too. So with that, I am happy to answer any questions that the council may have.
Thank you, Ms. Mahnke. Those courts, even though they are on Holy Family property, are for public use for residents when Holy Family is not using them. That's correct?
Correct.
And then this repair, how long will that stretch the complete replacement out?
I would imagine the last one it lasted about 5 to 6 years, so I'm going to guess about 5 to 6.
Okay. And then at that point in time, we're probably looking at a full replacement of those 8 courts.
If not 4, for sure 8.
Okay.
Or if not 8, for sure 4.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Council, questions?
So if we put that in the budget
That is in the CIP.
for
yes.
4 or 5 years to have it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Any other questions, council?
Just one or two.
Councilmember Gunderson.
They received a similar Catholic speaking to, as a nun might speak to a student who lashes out or does something unexpected, being given a $30,000 bill at a time when budgets are tight probably was not something we were planning for. So I would assume we're told that it's not really how the city operates.
They're aware of that, yes. They were, when I had that conversation with them earlier this year, I had indicated that we did have money in the CIP out into the future, not today. So we were waiting for that response of what they plan to do, and unfortunately, they move faster than what we did. So.
And the second thing is Victoria residents have expressed their gratitude that we were able to do that. So it's not there is a silver lining. So Victoria residents, from feedback that I received on Sunday, they were grateful for the work.
All right, yay, thank you. Anything else? All right, with that, I will take a motion.
Make a motion to approve payment to Holy Family Catholic High School for community tennis court repairs.
A motion, can I get a second?
Second.
A second by Councilmember Roberts. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Now moving on to reports and emerging issues. Attorney Vos, anything from?
Yeah, Mayor and Council, just one thing, and I feel like maybe I've mentioned this previously, but if I haven't, I apologize, I should have. The issue of THC edibles is continuing to consume all of the oxygen in our office among the 40 or so cities that we work with. A hot issue both on cities wanting to consider moratoriums on, I think, primarily sales or possession by underage people, but then also just how are cities going to deal with potential licensing or zoning of sales and other activities related to those products. So just, if I have mentioned, it looked like there were some nodding heads. That continues to be a very hot issue among the city folks that we work with.
Attorney Vos, on that subject, are you, obviously that was kind of a surprise when it became legal. Has the state indicated any interest in offering guidance for cities around how to regulate? And
yeah, Mayor and Council, as to the first point, I mean, I think the author of the bill has acknowledged that, frankly, the fact that it was a surprise was a little bit of a strategic choice, which, you know, you can have your views on whether that's a good way or a bad way for the legislature to proceed, but I think that was apparently sort of intentional. And yes, as I understand it, the author, who happens to be from the district that I live in, has indicated and has been working with the league on potentially bringing back some legislation to, I think you could describe it as add some teeth or add some regulatory framework to those products. You know, the problem, or not problem, depending on your view of the issue, is that, of course, that is not going to occur without notice and without vetting, and so whether that kind of amendatory language will get passed or not, has a chance politically to pass or not, I think is quite up in the air. But certainly the League of Cities, on your behalf, thinks that having some framework makes sense, that cities ought to understand what role, if any, cities play in that, and there ought to be rules, whether cities enforce them or not. There ought to be rules about, most prominently, I think, children, you know, well under the age of 18-year-old children, possessing those products. Should there be rules about that? Should there be a prohibition against that? Should there be something about that, given that these are hallucinogenic or they've got some, you know, impact on human thinking? Should there be some rules around that? So that's been a hot topic.
is any of the state agencies tasked with rulemaking around that legislation?
Yeah, so as I understand it, the Department of Pharmacy, and I'm sure that I'm saying that wrong, but whatever department that is at the state level, is the only agency that has authority over the new set of laws, the new law. But that agency really doesn't have a police force, doesn't have an enforcement arm to it. And I don't think there is any rulemaking. I know there is no rulemaking authority given to that department as part of the law. Whether they have sort of inherent authority to create rules anyway is not something I know about, but the law did not contemplate that an agency was going to create rules, and the law put the new law, the law is put in the hands of an agency that doesn't have an enforcement arm to it. So it's neutered a bit what can be done.
More to come.
More to come.
All right.
So you're saying that there's no law at all saying what age they can buy that?
No, council member, the law, as I understand it, I shouldn't say as I understand it, the law, I do understand it, the law does not allow sales to those under the age of 21, but it does not include a prohibition against, it doesn't make illegal the possession of those products by anybody. So there is no category of person underage, convicted of certain crimes. There's no category of people that cannot possess that product, and so cities are wondering about whether that makes any sense.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
All right. More to come. Ms. Hardy, anything from staff?
Thank you, Mayor. Members of the council, I just wanted to note that we have beautiful new artwork here in the chambers. So we invite everybody to come on down and check out our new artwork when we are open. So the artwork is by Allison Eklund, and it is a horse theme. So she does a lot with horses, and there are some beautiful landscape art that goes with this, some paintings that go with it as well. So we invite everybody to check it out. All of the paintings are available for purchase.
Again, a wonderful partnership. Council members, anything to report from council?
Oh, I'm good tonight.
Okay. There are no more items to come before this body this evening, so I will take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.